Those sleigh bells ring, are you whistling in the lane? Snow is whistling, a beautiful sight. We're whistling tonight, whistling in the winter wonderland. Whistle with me. We're whistling along, we're whistling tonight, whistling in the winter wonderland. There's only one Dennis Priestley, one Dennis Priestley. We're walking along, we're singing that song. We're walking in a Priestley wonderland. Oh, we're walking in a Priestley wonderland. Go on, Dennis. It's Christmas, and you know what that means.
Say those ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening. A beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird. Here to stay is our new bird. He sings a love song as we go along. Walking in a winter wonderland.
Ho ho ho! Ho 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 ho! Ho ho ho! Yes, welcome one and welcome all to the audio-visual gift-giving ceremony that comes but once a year. Yes, that's right, all over your DAB radio and computer, it's time for Chris Pollard, Christmas Pollard Live 2, here from the recently reopened Christmas Pollard Live studios. And what an epic festive feast we've got in store for you here from the Christmas Pollard Live studios between now and 11 p.m. on DAB radio, online radio and in video at mixcloud.com/live/Durham on air. And my goodness, am I excited to get on with tonight's programme. But before we can do any of that, we do need, for the gosh darn heck of it, to thank our big old festive sacks full of sponsors. First up, why stop decorating when you've done your living room, your garden, or your front of house and sort of table tennis area? Why not give those forgotten about areas new festive life with Dudley Barnacle's Christmas attic decorations? Give those beams a twinkling flare, give your insulation boards a tinsel topiary, give the little dead squirrel in the corner a moustache with a pen. Next year, don't bring down just all the boxes of lights from the attic. Leave one up there and have some extra fun with Dudley Barnacle's Christmas attic decorations. £10 a box, but be careful, some of these decorations may contain themes linked to winter. Also tonight, if you're having family and friends to stay around over the holiday and you're worried about their contributions to your energy bill, save money on your Christmas heating bill guaranteed by setting fire to them all as they slumber using Clipper at Christmas refillable lighters. Clipper at Christmas, they're the lighters that are a bit round. Also sponsoring tonight is Junction 21 of the A16A4, just going past Altrincham, northbound mind. And we are sponsored by the Hairy Bikers' new collection of festive food favourites, available in hardback and soft scoop. Pick up the new book, Our Battle Against the Sand Crabs of Azerbaijan, in any good rumour mill or grapevine. On tonight's programme, we are going to be squeezing out every last drop of festive juice that we possibly can with a whole range of festive favourite guests from shows gone by and some guests that you'll have never even heard of before, including a sit-down interview with the man who invented the Christmas cracker, Michael Smallgift. And I will recount my first trip to the new local escape room experience, Escape John Terry. I went there with our roving door-to-door reporter Ian Witchcraft, and he's still in there today. We're also going to be taking answers to tonight's big question for a chance to win tonight's big prize. And we're going to be hearing a bit more about that a little later on. But before we do any of that, we've got to get on with it. And it's time for your festive, I think that's Spanish, top 5. Your top 5 Christmas adverts this year. Number 5, it was a disappointing year with John Lewis with their festive take on Mortal Kombat. Number 4 was Amazon with their eye-wateringly beautiful story of the tap-dancing Stanley knife. Number 3, Asda and Conor McGregor for the Wham cover. Number 2, Ant and Dec go to DFS on magic mushrooms. And number 1, Bet365, chestnuts roasting on Ray Winston's chin. Lovely stuff. We'll be back after some more non-festive music, because we've all heard quite enough of that, on this Christmas Pollard Live. Ooh, here's Queens of the Stone Age. Here's Zombies. It's Christmas after all.
It's a time.
Alright. Welcome back to Chris Pollard Live. Christmas Pollard Live 2, may I add. An absolute Christmas chaffinch of a special. We're getting so warm and cosy here tonight in the Christmas Pollard Live studios that I've already been sick. And now, speaking of Christmas and sick and food and them sort of sulphury trumps you get that's so smelly you get acid reflux just from sitting in the mosque. And that's a Christmas dinner. Tonight I want to hear from you, the good listeners, for a good chance to win a great prize here on Christmas Pollard Live, as always, as we take part in tonight's Big Question.
The Big Question.
And as always, the best suggestions, submissions, answers, technically tweets, emails and texts will all get thrown into the big pot, and the finest of the lot will be picked out at random, and I don't know how that would work, and it will be awarded tonight's big question, big prize. Now tonight's big question, keeping in that festive theme of course, I'm going to just want to know, what are some of the strangest, weirdest, maybe less normal festive rituals or traditions that you or your family have got and been maintaining over the past how many years? How many years? That's completely up to you to decide. So yeah, if you've got any unusual things that you do every year, or maybe some sort of sexy traditions, you can still send them in. I won't necessarily read them out, but I will print them off and put them on my fridge. So yeah, send them in all throughout the night. What is your weirdest Christmas unusual ritual? If you want to get involved and get those across, text in your ritual tradition to 88802 by texting studio plus your tradition to 88802. You can email studio@durhamonair.com, and you can indeed tweet @CPL Infodesk. Get those through tonight with a chance to win tonight's big question, big prize, a dead turkey. It's quite Christmassy. And you can do with that what you want. It's not a cook, it's not like a plucked or anything. I'd probably pluck it and cook it. That's just me. Now, I don't know about you, but in my lifetime, Christmas has changed very dramatically in a number of ways. My first few Christmases, obviously, I spent just soiling myself and screaming and crying. But I grew up and I tried harder from that point to try and get involved more. I wasn't doing enough back then. And of course, since I've sort of fallen back into my prior routine, it was a lot more comfortable and of course a lot cheaper. But what does worry me to an almost existential level of terror is how Christmas is going to change further down the line in my lifetime. So what I've done is I've scoured the internet for the nation's absolute finest futurism science experts, and we've invited him into the studio tonight to give us a little insight into what we can expect of Christmas of the future. Oh, how sci-fi.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Donny Bumrash, or you can call me Little Donny Bums. My patients call me Doctor, but my inpatients call me Dick. Just get you off with a little light-hearted humour. Anyway, I've spent my life researching the future of Christmas. Now I know what you might be saying, what a waste of a life. researching the future of Christmas. It's always going to be the same. It's traditional. Well, I'm here to tell you differently today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to tell you very much differently so. And we'll start with 5 years. 5 years' time, Christmas is not looking much different, you know, not much has changed. The King's speech is now the King's lecture, and it's broadcast at 8 a.m. Yeah, and that's when it's most intelligible. You can recognise what he's saying. He's had his 4th week day, and he's only on his 2nd Jaeger bomb, so you can tell what he's saying. So we've had to have it at 8 a.m. now, and it's more of a lecture because he's getting old and he don't really care.
Oh, thank you very much for that. Top science expert, little Donny Bums, and a little thought-provoking exercise there on just how horrifically samey things could be 5 years down the line. I don't like how things are at the moment. For one, why is my washing machine broken at the moment? Are you telling me it is really because I tried to wash a small child's snooker table in there? Because if you are saying that, I think you're a liar. Join us after this non-Christmassy musical interlude. We're not having any more, I promise you. No Christmas music in between these things. But join us when we've got more guests, more fun, and more tales from the future here on Christmas Pollard Live. This is Chris Pollard Live. Radio for Wasps. Welcome back to Christmas Pollard Live 2. Oops, I did it again. I played with your heart. I got lost in the game. Oh baby, baby. You think I'm in love? That I'm sent from above? Well, I'm actually from Doncaster. There was Queens of the Stone Age with Go With The Flow. Not a Christmas song, but a song from one of the best albums ever. And I'll say that every time I play that. Any song from that album. Songs for the Deaf. If you've not heard it yet, just turn this off. You shouldn't really be listening to this. That's more important to be listening to. Still to come on the show later on, we're going to be taking a glancing look at the remarkable number of people this year that are deciding instead to give the gift of head lice. And we're also going to be reviewing the shocking new footage and evidence that could link Kylie Minogue to the Lincoln assassination. We'll find out more about that later on in the programme. We asked your big question earlier on in the show, which was, of course, what are some of your weirdest, most unique, festive, seasonal routines, traditions? You get the drift. I've had a few in so far that I've really liked. Rick has emailed in to say that his favourite festive tradition is treating himself to new pyjamas, which I wear for the first time on Christmas Eve. And in them, I dance in the blood of the unfortunate. Took a dark turn there. The next one's come from Elvis. That says, nothing been right about Christmas since Susie Lou stopped making them all those little dancing cakes in the shapes of little dancing boys. Sorry to hear that, Elvis. Just sound like a lovely little festive tradition. We've had an email that's come in anonymously, but it does say Mike Stamford in your email address, you dope. Every year my wife pulls a practical joke on me where she hides at my best mate Keith's house with the kids until the new year. It's not funny, but it saves a lot of money on food because she is a large woman with large children that are not mine. Fair enough. I don't know whether or not you're... I can't tell whether or not you're upset about that one, but thanks for your contribution regardless. And finally, Navis here by text, lovely name. Me and my cousins meet up every Boxing Day at the same train station pub. We spill out news and gossip of the previous days and get fully filled in with what's been happening within all the close-knit family circles across the county. Then we all take it in turns to have a slash on an avocado. The Belgians say it brings great fortune. Thanks for that, Navis. That's a fantastic, lovely little seasonal tradition. And if you want to contribute with any of yours, text studio plus your tradition to 88802. You can email studio@durhamonair.com and you can tweet at CPL Info Desk. Fantastic. Now, anyone that knows me personally outside of the radio will know that I've been a long time ardent friend of the police force. And it's not a subject to take lightly, my devout friendship and connection with them. And there's so many encounters that we've had of recent time, all being consensual and all being fantastic, thrilling little chats in cafes. And they've become so thrillingly mutual, as it happens, that none other than our very own local police chief, Gavin Voltage, has come into the Christmas Pollard Live studios for tonight, who's going to be giving you guys at home just a few handy tips and tricks on how you can stay out of trouble this Christmas and indeed stay safe. He's going to bestow some knowledge upon your dome, as DJ Khaled would say. So let's hear from him right now. PC Gavin Voltage.
Ho ho ho! Hello. Now, we all know Christmas as the most wonderful time of year, but take it from a copper, it can also be the most dangerous time of year. So I'm here today to give you some top tips on how we can have the best Christmas possible, but also the safest and most boring Christmas possible too. So for example, if you are buying a gift, wanting to spice things up with the woman you love, even considering buying something sexy or even raunchy, then make sure that this person actually loves you and at the very least even knows who you are and is not just, say, the local lass that works down the chippy, because that is illegal.
Ho ho ho!
Local Chief of Police Gavin Voltage. Make sure that you stick around after Chris Pollard Live returns, after this small musical break, where we've got more Christmas facts, findings, features and opportunities for you good people at home. Thanks for sticking around. Here is a Bloodhound Gang. Beautiful. There was Bloodhound Gang with Along Comes Mary. Isn't that a slice of nostalgia if you're me and maybe not many other people on earth? But that's not what it's about here. It's about us all. It's about horticulture. It's about home cinema. And it's about hope for healthy days ahead. It's Christmas Pollard Live too. Before Bloodhound Gang, you heard Go With The Flow by Queens of the Stone Age. Before that, Time of the Seasons by Zombies. And tonight I wanted to just have a bit of a trip down some more familiar songs in the Chris Pollard Live catalogue library. I didn't want to be spending hard-earned, physical, actual, real money on Christmas music while there's a cost of Christmas crisis, living Christmas Thatcher crisis going on. So instead we've got some of my favourite all-time classics from the vault, and you're just going to have to deal with that. But still to come on the show later on, I'm going to be experimenting by introducing myself to people as Ryan. Good work. And also still to come later on in the studio, we're going to be testing out the tensile strength of David Dickinson, Bobby Dazzler. Now, what's more important at Christmas time than food? I don't know. Smelling like an old trout, in your case? Have a bath. Maybe in your house, not in mine. In mine, the most important tradition is food. So I do the right thing every day, and I have a gourmet chef prepare all my meals for me. Unfortunately, he's a very, very ugly and disfigured gentleman, and he didn't want to be shown on the camera tonight. So I have instead enlisted the help of none other. I can't quite get my breath that we've nailed this for today. We have secured the services for one show only, and it is one show, because he was quite aggressive on the phone. None other than TV chef Norman Gordon with his famous cost of living kitchen, and we're going to head over to him right now. Norman Gordon. Good morning, Norman Gordon.
Good morning, Chris, and welcome to my cost of living kitchen. What an appropriate time with all these energy bills skyrocketing to show you a cheap alternative dinner for festive Christmas special. It feeds up to 6 people, this does. And so we're going to get straight into it really, but just before we do that, we're going to preheat the oven at 220 degrees. And don't forget, every time we do that, just to make sure you're checking the smart meter. So it's now on 3 pence. The oven's gone on. We shall check that when it's preheated. The key here to keeping costs down on this special, on this cost of a living budget deal, is to monitor the prices. Always make sure you are on top of how much you are spending. Okay? So while the oven's preheating, a little bit about me. I was born in 1974, a butcher's baker's daughter. I found a tendency for cooking when I was 7 years old when I set my nana's house on fire. Since then, I was always running around the supermarkets, adding things to inappropriate shopping trolleys, just the general vibe of food. And from there, it spawned my love of cooking. So this is, like I say, something my mother showed me 20 years ago before she passed away. Simple version. Carrot is one of the main ingredients, simple as it is. What we're going to do is we're going to chop 1 carrot straight in half, and we're going to add it to the shaker. This can be found in all retail stores, between £1 to £2. This one was provided for me by my nana. I actually got her ashes. This is her ashes, the jar that her ashes came from. In go the carrots. 2 carrots. Obviously, keeping the cost down, as opposed to an orange, we've gone for a tangerine, and we're going to zest the tangerine gently. Excellent. Ooh, In goes salt, which we know actually as fry batter. This one is blue, bit of blue sea salt. And again, just before we shake up, a touch of oil. And don't forget the happy slogan that we use when we're cooking for Mama's special food. My sausages are on fire. Of course, now we're oiled up, smelling good, smelling good. Tissue, 2-part, rolled in. And don't always do it, but I'm just going to put the tangerine in there anyway for extra scent. Dash of black pepper. And we go. For as long as you need. There's actually a book. I read a book on different techniques. So that's why I'm quite good at this. And after a thorough shake, into the bowl. Stir, wooden spoon. Make sure you don't use a metal spoon. The metal oil can give off flames from the metal. Not ideal. And finally, before we put this special into the oven, we're going to add some Caribbean jerk chicken. Fragrance. Starch. We're going to need some starch. And we're going to go with some salt and vinegar crisps. Shaken, not stirred. Give it a final stir. Give it a final stir. And of course, a wipe around the edges. That's important to wipe around the edges. And the spoon. In goes the spoon. And now, the oven should be preheated. £2.25 we've spent so far, excluding the price of the carrot and the extra ingredients. So, in she goes. Now, we're going to leave that in there for about 20 to 25 minutes. In the meantime, one thing that you can do is practice your sharpening skills. For however long you need to practice
I'm not too sure about the sharpening. So can we just stop doing that, please? Yeah. We're just going to wait for him to finish sharpening his knives. I think we're... Yeah,
Okay. Yes. Plastic containers are not supposed to be in the oven, so what we shall do now is, it's very hot, so we shall grab this. We have a cake tin, and in the cake tin we shall pour out our portions of crisp carrot, tangerine, wooden spoon and tissue. And of course, not forget to check the smart meter. £3.25 so far. Now, if you join me in 1 hour's time, I'm going to place this in the oven. I would expect not to spend any more than £6.25. So I shall be coming back moderately to check that we're not extending those limits. And of course, don't forget, my sausages are on fire. Thank you, Chris. We'll see you shortly.
Fantastic stuff, and I'm ever so sorry about the studio evaporating into the depths of a space black hole. But what are you going to do? I pay the bills around here, which means no bills are getting paid around here. Fantastic stuff there from top TV chef Norman Gordon with his festive take on a cost of living crisis classic. The other way around. Join us after the break when we'll be finding out how that's going on. We're going to be hearing more from your big questions, suggestions and answers and whatnot, along with more from our other guests from across the globe and from just across the other side of the car park. Join us after these short few advertisements and 2 fantastic songs.
In 10 years' time, we do expect the whole Christmas experience to be in the metaverse. Yes, and leading the metaverse will be, of course, Zuckerberg. Not only will you be able to have Zuckerberg at your Christmas dinner, you will also have Zuckerberg hand you your Christmas presents. Whether this be a new watch or a Lamborghini, you can have your new gift gifted by the gift itself of Zuckerberg. Don't feed him too many sprouts though, because the new meta smell will blast Zuckerberg's NFT poo particles straight to your nose. Nobody wants that, do they, P? Poo particle NFTs, future.
Only on Durham on there. Wow, wow, wow.
Do all these songs sound like Christmas I'm Yours by Jason Mraz? Or am I stuck in 2008? Welcome back to Christmas Pollard Live 2, helping old people across the road and giving them a little present when they get there. And that is forcing them to walk back across the road when the red man's on, just for a laugh. You shouldn't need my help to start with. Still to come on tonight's Christmas Pollard Live sequel, Harry Redknapp is going to be exposing to us what he's been keeping behind his teeth this Christmas. And we're going to be opening day 21 of our advent calendar of famous Dutch bicycle chains. I'm hoping I'm getting a Kloppenschlepper. I'm hoping to God I'm getting a Kloppenschlepper. We have got a lot of stuff to take care of Christmas-wise here in the Christmas Pollard Live Community Contact Centre, including more safety tips from your resident police chief. We've got an update from none other than Norman Morgan, and of course PC Grant Isotope, Grant Voltage, something along those lines. It was between one of them two for the name anyway. But before we can join back with any of them, there's a couple of things, a couple of festive highlights, let's say, that I'm looking forward to getting recorded, getting my feet up, opening a big bottle of Baileys and just tipping it out on the cat's head. Let's find out what's heading into my series link. Because of course it is the greatest time of the entire year of the entire calendar year. It's also a good time for telly as well as films. And I've just got a few here that I've been enjoying thoroughly, or I'm looking forward to enjoying in the near future. First and not least of all, of course, is the first time on TV showing of Christmas with the Mayonnaise Sisters. That's on Channel 4 at 1 p.m. tomorrow, and it is going to be the full 5-hour cut, so you can enjoy all 5 hours with the Mayonnaise Sisters, of course, starring Prunella Scales and the Right Honourable Reverend Leslie Backgammon. Two people you just couldn't imagine them not acting together. I watch Fawlty Towers now and I'm thinking, when's Leslie Backgammon going to come in? The Right Honourable Reverend. We've got Miracle on 74th attempt. A man attempts to get a Christmas miracle 74 times, which renders it less a miracle, more of a skill-based task that he needs to achieve. But I love that kind of stuff. Starring as himself is Phil Jupitus off of QI. Season finale of SAP is coming soon to Channel 5. It's the documentary that's been positively oozing out of the sides of deciduous trees. I don't know if that's right. I just like the word deciduous. And lastly of all, we've got the first time showing on BBC One of Bobby the Coconut Farmer. It's a tepid tale of Cornwall's most unsuccessful coconut farmer, who then turned into one of them blokes you see in the papers who celebrates Christmas every single day, or at least he's celebrated every day since his wife left him, and that is more glaringly obvious with every turkey dinner you stuff down your regretful neck. Starring as himself again, acting newcomer Barack Obama. It's not the most exciting film, but the cinematography is quite striking in points, and I was eating some lovely ham when I was watching it the first time, and I always think that really adds to a nice cinema going experience, a nice bit of breaded ham. But don't be taking your own breaded ham into cinemas. Pirate the film, watch it at home and eat ham there. Ham isn't allowed in cinema, and that's not the only bit of cute advice we've got for you here in a health and safety regard, as we head back over to top local police chief Gavin Voltage, I'm sure it is, for more of his keeping safe tips this Christmas. Gavin.
Ho, ho, ho!
So, during the Christmas period, Boxing Day to New Year's, a lot of people don't bother going to the shop and usually eat a lot of the leftovers and whatever is lying around in the house. But please folks, don't eat the wrapping paper. I'll take it from a copper, that's illegal.
Ho, ho, ho!
Hey, yo, hey, hiddly poo, ho, hey, 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 wah, ha, ha, hey. Welcome back to Christmas Pollard Live 2. Just about covered in hotness. Still to come, it's not a balaclava, ma'am. It's 4 carefully cut holes I've put in my football socks. But yes, I'm robbing your shop. It's the time to bring you, the good listener, back to the forefront of the procedures here at Christmas Pollard Live 2, because you've been sending in your messages, your texts, and whatnot to 88802 to studio@durhamonair.com, and you've been tweeting at CPL Info Desk. We're going to be hearing more of your submissions to the big question very shortly, but not before we hear a Christmas poem that's been submitted throughout the duration of this program. So if you've got any more poems that you want to send in about Christmas, I didn't mention it at the start of the program, this kind soul has taken it upon themselves to bestow some festive freedom, some creative freedom. So let's have a listen here to this poem. If you think you can top it, let's get some poems in as well. I'll even throw in another dead turkey. Yes, here we go. Let's hear from a poem from you, the listener.
Poems from you, the listener.
Rudolph who? Red-nosed what? Just another tired worker, whipped by the fat capitalist on his back. Is he in control of the toys, Rudolph, or are you? If you were true to your motherland, the North Pole would burn down. Rudolph, the red-hearted communist, won't you guide us to revolution this evening? Or I'll turn you into biltong. You're just a horse with accessories. I'll hang my coat off you. There was a top festive poem that has been sent in there. It has been sent in anonymously via a text, but I have saved that number and I've responded with simply my date of birth. We're going to have some of your suggestions for tonight's big question. What are some of your favourite festive traditional routines and traditions? But before we can do any of that, let's go over and hear what's going to happen a bit down the line in the future, that is. With old little Donald Bumrush, top scientific expert that I found on Gumtree.
Fritzy up to Dutch, with them ties of a duck.
Chris Pollard live, eating the salad of the century.
Okay, let's check back in with our resident safety expert, PC Gavin Voltage, with another safety tip.
Ho ho ho!
So, with the rising costs of dental care in this country over the last few years, eating frozen peas could cost you a few more than your teeth. Now take it from a copper, that is illegal.
Ho ho ho!
Okay, food for thought, food for thought, food for thought. Welcome back to Christmas Pollard Live, a cranberry stuffed 2-hour roasted in the oven slice of festive fortuity. Let's all just feed the pigeons once more, shall we? I've just looked at the time. I'm unfortunate to tell you that it's 10:15, which goes to show that it is actually live. Hey, and then we've got to get some more adverts out of the way very shortly, but I've got to tell you that our 10:15 sponsor tonight is Alan Crablegs Dancers for the Blind. Are you blind? Learn to dance. We have got 3 quick scores to get rid of that have come through earlier in today, of course, with the current ongoing World Championship of Darts.
Sport.
So here's a quick update in the world of sports, because we've got a second round match to breaking news to bring through, and of course the earlier finishing matches. Just finishing on the main board, Johnny the Battenberg Cleethorpes has beaten second seed Alan, Hell's favourite gardening enthusiast, Phillips in straight sets, 3-0, averaging 106, which is much higher than that of his mum. Also earlier on today in the darts, none other than the Wicker Man, Fred Baskett, is well underway into his campaign at the Ali Pally as he completed a 2-1 thrashing of Darren, Power of the Pamphlet Yeovil. And finally, of course, it was the fairy tale that wasn't to be on the day, as Carol the Karaoke Machine Johnston has sadly had to step out due to medical reasons following the fist fight between her and Eric Good Afternoon Sir St Edwardston on the main. They're the dart scores. They're not very Christmassy, but by Jove is my underwear, and I'll be showing you exactly what I mean by that after this third of 4 ad breaks, but not before we take one more deep dive into the future.
Now, in 50 years' time, Christmas is starting to look a bit different, and in order to reach net zero, has fallen under these guidelines, and he's had to slaughter his entire fleet of reindeer, and it is to be replaced with an e-bike that is solar powered. I don't know whether they're taking the mess out of him there or not, but a solar powered e-bike is now going to deliver all the presents on in the middle of the night. So we'll see how that one will work out. See how that one goes. I'll keep you posted, P.
Still to come on tonight's show, I don't know, this is a pre-recorded jingle.
Ho ho ho!
Now another top tip, board game safety. Now board games can lead to inclusion in crimes such as embezzlement, blackmail, bribery and theft. Now take it from a copper, these are illegal. Sound.
Ho ho ho!
Yes. Welcome back to Christmas Pollard Live 2. No returns, no gift wrapping, no justice in this world. Because if there was any justice in this world, I would be your guy, you, etc., Westlife. Blue? I don't know. I hope you've been enjoying tonight's entertainment in a very Christmassy way. And I hope that you're still also looking forward to our feature presentation later on tonight, which is going to be a detailed inspection of over 18,000 used car listings on eBay. And we're going to be giving it a festive theme this year, because I'm going to be conducting that research on my laptop in the garden where it's cold. It's time for some more submissions to your big question, which was tonight, of course, what are some of your strangest, weirdest, more unusual festive holiday traditions or rituals? If you want to get yours across before I read these out, you can text studio plus your message to 88802. You can email studio@durhamonair.com. You can tweet at CPL Infodesk. CPL Infodesk. We're looking to hear some of your strangest Christmas time traditions and rituals, let's say. Yeah, let's say. We've had a couple in come through here. One's come through from Harold via email. Me and my sons are all huge Harry Potter fans, so every Christmas we sit down together and talk about how hard it is to find a girlfriend. We've had one coming through from Mama Q. Every Christmas, my kids will not forgive me if I don't whip up a world-famous batch of Mama Q's world-famous opium cookies. They tend to be more happy with just receiving cookies every year than half cookies, half presents, so they must be brilliant, and sometimes their little tummies are so satisfied they sleep through all the way into the new year. That sounds fantastic, Mama Q. Send some of those over and you can be a sponsor of Chris Pollard Live, or at least a sponsor of my personal life. It may sound unusual, but since my mum told me her secret turkey basting method, I haven't gone back. All you need is a length of string, two tubes of toothpaste, a man stood next to you with strong smelling eczema, and a lot of imagination. You need to have the imagination, not the man with the strong smelling eczema, and put all those together, you've got yourself one hell of a Christmas turkey. And finally here, my favourite festive ritual is to hang around the local bowling alley with one of my mum's hats on. That sounds fun to me. It's time for your Christmas Pollard Live clip art image of the day.
Clip art image of the day.
Okay, yes, your Christmas Pollard Live image of the year is of a little snowflake with a smile on its face. It's floating down from the whiteness above, hovering lightly in midair before gently cascading down, falling on the face of a sneezing pornographer. And it really is a powerful image. Join us after some more music for some more Christmas Pollard Live. But first, futurism.
So, in another 50 years, in 100 years now, Christmas trees are no longer available. The climate apocalypse and all the Extinction Rebellion protesters have finally got their way, and we've stopped cutting down trees for Christmas now. Yes, now we're in a new age where we will string up the last home intruder that you caught and killed and tortured in some cases. They will be strung up as a tree and decorated as such and thrown out by the new year. It seems to get a bit smelly bodies, but yeah, this is to send a message to all the other raiders at Christmas that even on this sacred and holy day, I will not take your
Ho ho ho!
With another top tip here. Now, drink driving, of course, is a main thing that we want to push this year. But we are also clamping down against people driving under the influence of paracetamol. Now, take it from a copper. That is illegal.
Ho ho ho!
Fantastic advice there from top local police chief Gavin Voltage. I think we've got to have time just to visit him once more before the end of tonight's programme. And I hope that you're going to be taking some of those top safety tips into your life, into your future, and into the lives of your children and great friends and family. Yes, it's Chris Pollard live, and we're now starting to wind down into the dying stages of the evening, like a little hermit crab with no idea how to get back to the school disco without being seen by the locals. Hide in your shell, mate, it's what it's there for. Earlier on in the show, I tried Britain's 8 tastiest Christmas loft insulations, and I'm still looking forward to our interactive game of Bunyan or Golf Ball. That's all coming, still to come later on in tonight's programme. We've got about 20 minutes left, and I hope you've enjoyed the 1 hour and 40 minutes that's been on offer tonight as much as I have, but I bet you haven't enjoyed it as much as I have, because I've had the privilege, the honour and the great gratitude of being sat in the presence of top TV chef Morgan Gorman and smelling this gourmet Morgan Gorman. Good morning, sir. He's been knocking up, just for you good listeners at home, a cost of living crisis busting Christmas dinner in his own special way, just like Mama used to make, and the smell has been wafting through. It's been absolutely to die for. So let's head back over to top TV chef Morgan Gorman, and let's see exactly how he's getting on over there in the cost of living kitchen.
Thank you, Chris. Now, as you can see here, food's been in the oven for £3.20. Just timed, ample time to check it out and see what we've got. Now, people are saying over there the smells from this side of the studio are ripe. Let's find out. It will go into the oven. And it's happened again. If you want a cheap alternative Christmas special dinner, why not just get yourself some noodles?
What can I smell? Have you not cooked anything? Wait, that's your tip, is it? Buy noodles.
Yeah, well, no, don't necessarily buy the noodles, Chris. Infuse them into a bowl like this, get them in the oven. Gourmet noodles.
Is it? Yeah, to gourmet is your tip. Okay. I don't know what happened there. So yes, if you want that, if you want a Christmas dinner, buy some noodles.
Well, not necessarily cooked noodles. I can tell you the best flavours, Chris. Spicy chicken ramen flavour is great. But there's others out there.
Now let's just start. We're going to get this man removed from the studio. I've clearly hired an impersonator on Gumtree. This clearly cannot be the Morgan Gorman that I know, especially because the Morgan Gorman I know is a 7-foot blonde woman from Germany. We have a security situation that we've got to deal with. It looks like Morgan Gorman isn't taking too kindly to his ejection, and he is the one that has all the utensils and sort of stabby stuff. So let's come back after a song. I'll be right back. Put that down, put that down, put that down. Chris Pollard live. Cottage cheese. What am I doing? Oh, yes. Welcome back to Christmas Pollard Live 2. The last molecule of poo on Earth. We've had a winner in tonight's big question, which was, of course, asking you for some of your strange Christmas traditions, rituals, and sort of hobbies that only sort of come around this kind of year. We've had a winner come in who will be receiving the big question, big prize of one dead turkey. Do with it how you please. And the winning submission there. I like to have a night to myself at Christmas. I buy a big pack of baby wipes and get properly mysterious with my Sky remote. That one's coming from Ian Bedford. So yes, you are going to be sent that turkey. It should still be dead when it gets there. And we've got just enough time to check in once more with futurologist, scientist extraordinaire, Dr. Donald Bumrash, with another harrowing look into tomorrow's Christmas.
Bleep blab bloop bloop bleep blab bloop bloop bleep blab bloop bloop bleep bloop blab bloop blab bloop bleep bleep bloop 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 bleep bleep.
And we've also quickly got time, we're just enough time just to back over with our resident PC, Eric Voltage. I'm sure your name's changed many times. But have you got anything else you'd like to add before we say goodbye to everybody at home?
No, nothing much. So I've given a few tips today, but I would say my most important one is to have fun, as long as it's legal, or I will hunt you down. Merry Christmas.
Comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Well, God rest you all across County Durham for another year. You take care of yourselves, whatever you're doing for the rest of the evening, be it wrapping presents or rapping over a nice boom bap beat, old school New York style. But either way, look after yourself. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas or you don't celebrate anything, just look after yourself. Life's too short to let things like Christmas get to you. Because no one truly enjoys Christmas. You're told to enjoy Christmas. And if anyone tells you otherwise, they're liars. And they're trying to make you like Christmas more. Say no. Say no. Dig your feet in and say I find the whole thing stupid, depressing, expensive, and a harrowing reminder on just how artificial connections are made and maintained. And as soon as those material possessions fade or break, so will the relationships that they maintained. Enjoy Christmas, everybody. Your family doesn't love you. From the Christmas Pollard Live Christmas Studios, live in the heart of Christmas. Thank you, good evening, take care, wrap presents with care, and I'll see you over there.